guys, welcome back to another relational psychology test, or in other words, personality exploration test. A lot of you guys really liked this video I did one before about like being in a forest, and if you don't know what this is, it's basically a test where I will ask you questions and pretty much you just, whatever the first thing that pops into your mind is, go with that answer, and the answers that you choose basically tell things about yourself and your situation and your life and stuff like that. I hope that makes sense, but you'll get the hang of it once we start. It's very easy. So whatever the first thing that comes into your mind is, just stick with that, and that's usually the most accurate. Okay, so this test is called the cube test or the desert test. So the last one was about being in a forest. This one is about being in a desert. Okay, so it's a little bit different. Alright, I'm going to present you with a few prompts. Feel free to sketch out what you see in your head as you work through them, which you don't have to do, just remember them. So let's begin. First, imagine you're in a desert. The desert is incredibly large. Sitting in the desert is a cube. Do you see it? How big is the cube? Where exactly is it? Is it buried in the sand? Or is it sitting on top? Is it floating? How big is it? Is the cube moving? Or what is it made of? So think about that for a minute and really just decide where the cube is, what it looks like, what's it made of, all that stuff. And the first thing that you thought of when I said a cube in the desert, stick with that one. Okay. As you're observing the cube, you begin to notice that there's also a ladder in the desert. What's the ladder made of? How long is it? Is it an old ladder or a new ladder? Where is it in relation to the cube? Is it leaning on the cube? Is it underneath the cube? Whatever. So think about that for just a minute. Now, imagine that a horse has appeared in the desert as well. Is the horse moving? If so, in which direction? What does it look like? If you're sketching this out, don't worry if you can't draw a horse all that well. Don't be afraid to scribble a little note describing what you can't draw. You're still cool, I promise. Okay. Next, imagine flowers in the desert. How many flowers can you see? Where are they in relation to the other objects in the desert? Where are they growing from? I hope you brought an umbrella. A thunderstorm is coming. Can you see it? Is the wind strong? Is the storm far away? Or are you right in the thick of it? Is the storm affecting the horse, flowers, cube, or ladder at all? So think about those things for a minute and just try to solidify your thoughts and the positions and everything of these objects. Okay, so you can pause the video if you need to, but now we are going to go into the meaning of all of these things. And facts about yourself or just help clarify certain things. Okay. The cube represents your ego. If the cube you've envisioned is large, you're likely a very confident person. If it's small, you're most likely a shy, modest person. If the cube is dug into the ground, it means you are a planner that thinks far into the future. If the cube is sitting on top of the ground, that means you're a very business-like thinker. A cube that is moving signifies that you are someone who thinks out of the box and avoids convention. That's actually accurate for me. My cube was literally like the size of like my head, so it was literally like not big. And it was on top of the ground. I'm really not a planner. That is so true. I tell my boyfriend this all the time. I'm like, because he is a planner. He really loves like to have a plan about literally everything, even like hanging out with people. I'm like a moment to moment kind of person. I literally just go with the flow of everything, which sometimes isn't good, but I'm happy with it. So also, let me know your results in the comments. I like to read all of them, and it helps me get to know you guys a little bit more. Alright, so that's the cube. The ladder signifies your friends. If you envision the ladder touching the cube, this means you're very connected to your friends and rely on them for support. If the ladder is detached, this means you prefer to be independent. If the ladder is below the cube, your friends see you as an authority figure. If the cube is on the same level, you and your friends are equals. If the ladder is above the cube, this means you see your friends as authority figures in your life. So I don't know about you guys, but personally mine was level with the cube, which is very accurate. It wasn't touching the cube, which is kind of sad because I think that it said that it means you're not as connected, which I'm not. I'm more connected with just my boyfriend and my dog. I don't hang out with people very often. I don't really like to. So it makes a lot of sense for me. But I don't know what you guys. Hopefully you guys are like touching the cube and you guys are like equal and all that good stuff. My life is messed up. Alright, just kidding. The horse is your ideal partner. If the horse you imagined is a strong workhorse, that means your ideal partner is hardworking and reliable. If you've imagined a more delicate horse, that means your ideal partner is likely someone who takes pride in his or her appearance and enjoys being pampered. If the horse is far away from the cube or moving in the opposite direction, this means you're distant from your present partner or far from attaining your ideal one. This one I want to say isn't 100% accurate for me, but it's like half accurate. My horse was like a regular horse. I wouldn't say it's like a workhorse. I wouldn't say it's like a super gentle horse, which I think kind of describes my boyfriend in a way. He is a very hard worker. I mean, he makes a lot more money than me. He's a lot more successful and driven than me, I would say. Which is nice, I'm not gonna lie. That's like the kind of person I've always wanted. But he's also a very soft person, especially when he's like with me or like family. He's like a very sweet person, but he's like a big guy and like he's intimidating and like he's not afraid to be like protective and stuff. Anyway, so yeah. And my horse wasn't super close to the cube, which seems kind of off to me, but who knows? Maybe he'll break up with me. Just kidding. Okay. Anyway, the flowers represent your children. The number of flowers you imagined represent the number of children you might have. If the flowers are close to the cube, it means you desire a close relationship with your kids, or already have one. If the flowers are far from the cube, this means you do not value having a close relationship with your kids. That is so true. Okay, here's the thing. I visualized 3 flowers, but they weren't close to the cube. They were like the farthest thing, I think, out of everything. They're like off in the distance next to like a cactus is what I visualized. Which is funny because I don't want kids. I'm like, oh, so I shouldn't have seen any flowers. But yeah, I saw 3 flowers and they were far away, and it's true. Like, I just don't like kids that much, as bad as that might sound. I just am not good with children. I've never gotten along with kids very well. As far as like young kids go, I get along with kids who are a little bit older, maybe like 10-ish years old, probably because I'm on like the same maturity level as them. So I get along with kids who are younger than me, but I don't ever want kids, so I don't know. The thunderstorm represents your fears. Is the storm you imagined far off, in the distance? That means you're living life with little worry. If the storm is close to the cube, you're ready to face conflict. If the storm is directly over the cube, your troubles are overwhelming you right now. So my storm wasn't like really far away, but it wasn't like right above me. It was still kind of like overcast where I was, but it was like the lightning and everything was a little bit farther away. So, I mean, I guess that's pretty accurate. I'm not like super stressed about my problems and life and all that stuff right now. But every once in a while, I get very stressed, and the storm is right above me. I'm like in the clouds, getting struck by lightning and killed. So, anyway, I hope you guys like this video. I really love these relational psychology tests. I think they're very interesting and they're fun to do. So, if you guys want me to do more, I know there are some other ones and they're pretty awesome. So, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell if you don't want to have a bad night's sleep. I love you guys. Thank you for watching and for all the nice comments. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Good night.